Hi. We're in the third section of C.S. Lewis's book, Mere Christianity. The section is about Christian behavior, and he's talking about judging. He's saying that we are not in we're not in a position to be able to judge others or ourselves. As Jehovah's Witnesses, we did not leave judgment to God. We judged people outside the organization. We judged people inside the organization. We certainly judged people who leave the organization. And I think what ends up happening is individuals judge themselves. If they leave, because they're disfellowshipped for some falling, they sometimes give up on themselves because of the judgment that has been given to them by the organization. So I think you might find this section very comforting. We'll also look at what the Apostle Paul says in harmony with the viewpoint that Lewis is presenting. Some of us who seem quite nice people may in fact have made so little use of a good heredity and a good upbringing that we are really worse than those whom we regard as fiends. Can we be quite certain how we should have behaved if we had been saddled with the psychological outfit, and then with the bad upbringing, and then with the power, say, of Himmler? That is why Christians are told not to judge. We see only the results which a man's choices make out of his raw material. But God does not judge him on the raw material at all, but on what he has done with it. Most of the man's psychological makeup is probably due to his body. When his body dies, all that will fall off him, and the real central man, the thing that chose, that made the best or the worst out of this material, will stand naked. All sorts of nice things which we thought our own, but which were really due to a good digestion, will fall off some of us. All sorts of nasty things which were due to complexes or bad health will fall off others. We shall then, for the first time, see everyone as he really is. There will be surprises. And that leads on to my second point. People often think of Christian morality as a kind of bargain in which God says, if you keep a lot of rules, I'll reward you. And if you don't, I'll do the other thing. I do not think that this is the best way of looking at it. I would much rather say that every time you make a choice, you are turning the central part of you, the part of you that chooses, into something a little different from what it was before. And taking your life as a whole, with all your innumerable choices, all your life long, you are slowly turning this central thing either into a heavenly creature or into a hellish creature. Either into a creature that is in harmony with God and with other creatures and with itself, or else into one that is in a state of war and hatred with God and with its fellow creatures and with itself. To be the one kind of creature is heaven. That is, it is joy and peace and knowledge and power. To be the other means madness, horror, idiocy, rage, impotence, and eternal loneliness. Each of us at each moment is progressing to the one state or the other. He then says, the right direction leads not only to peace, but to knowledge. When a man is getting better, he understands more and more clearly the evil that is still left in him. When a man is getting worse, he understands his own badness less and less. A moderately bad man knows he is not very good. A thoroughly bad man thinks he is all right. This is common sense, really. You understand sleep when you are awake, not while you are sleeping. You can see mistakes in arithmetic when your mind is working properly. While you're making them, you cannot see them. You can understand the nature of drunkenness when you are sober, not when you are drunk. Good people know about both good and evil. Bad people do not know about either. Now, the Apostle Paul also talks about judging others and about judging yourself. And this is what he says. In Romans chapter 14, verses 10 to 12, he says, You then, why do you judge your brother? Or why do you look down on your brother? For we will all stand before God's judgment seat. It is written, As surely as I live, says the Lord, every knee will bow before me, every tongue will confess to God. So then, each of us will give an account of himself to God. And then he also says in 1 Corinthians 4, verses 3 to 5, I care very little if I am judged by you or by any human court. Indeed, I do not even judge myself. My conscience is clear, but that does not make me innocent. It is the Lord who judges me. Therefore, judge nothing before the appointed time. Wait till the Lord comes. He will bring to light what is hidden in darkness and will expose the motives of men's hearts. At that time, each will receive his praise from God. So it's only God that truly sees and can judge. I think this is a good lesson for us as ex-witnesses, because we oftentimes, if we're not judging others or feeling judged, we are spending a lot of our energy and concentration on that whole question. Whereas if you remove that question, even to the judging of yourself, and leave it to God, you can go on with what is going to actually help you to transform. So I find a lot of comfort in the way the Apostle Paul addresses this subject, and Lewis. So I'm going to link two videos. One was one that David did on James Orr called Last Judgment and Eternity, and a second one on JW's and Org's inevitable slander and judging of ex-witnesses. Next, we're going to talk about love and marriage. What does the Christian faith or Christianity teach about love and marriage?